This is the story of the Banana Bandits of Monkeyville. Once upon a time in a wacky town filled with zany zoo animals called Monkeyville, there lived a troupe of extremely mischievous monkeys. They loved playing pranks on the townsfolk, especially on Mr. Grumbles, the grumpy old man who lived on the hill. The monkeys would throw coconuts at his house, swing on his curtains, and once they even put a banana peel on his doorknob, just for a little harmless fun. You know, monkey stuff. But the monkeys' mischief got them into quite a pickle one day, when they opened the world's first ever banana bank. The grand opening was quite the event. All the animals of Monkeyville showed up, from Mrs. Croaks, the frog who owned the local bistro, to Sammy the squirrel, the star quarterback of the Oak Tree football team, and of course, Mr. Grumbles. When the bank first opened, everything went according to plan. The monkeys set up 3 big glass jars on a table, labeled them 1, 2, and 3, and started accepting deposits. In no time at all, they had collected hundreds of bananas. The monkeys were so excited that they let out a mighty roar, startling Sammy the squirrel, who dropped his jar, letting all his carefully collected acorns go flying everywhere. Sammy wasn't too happy about that, but it was all part of the fun. Until suddenly, after only a few hours, all the bananas vanished. The jars were completely empty, and the monkeys were in a tizzy. Where could the bananas have gone? Who would steal so much fruit? To find out what happened, they turned to the only kid detective in Monkeyville, a chimp named Chip. He was famous for solving mysteries, like the case of the missing mangoes and the great coconut caper of 1984. Chip and his pet parrot sidekick, Polly, arrived at the bank just as the angry townspeople were gathering outside. Mr. Grumbles was fuming. "Those dirty monkeys," he yelled, shaking his fist. "They tricked me into putting all my hard-earned bananas in their silly bank. And now they've run off with my life savings. I'm ruined." Sammy the squirrel nodded glumly. "Same here. Those monkeys better come up with some serious bananas, or I'll be forced to forfeit my football scholarship." It was clear that whoever had taken the bananas had done so deliberately. But why? And where could they have possibly stashed so much fruit? Chip took a deep breath and got to work. First, he examined the jars. Sure enough, there were tiny footprints on the rims. Whoever had taken the bananas had been small, smaller than even Polly. Next, he looked around the bank for clues. He found a single strand of bright pink fur on the floor and a few stray feathers. Then he noticed something strange. There was a big pile of bananas just outside the bank, right under a tree. And if you looked closely, those bananas had tiny teeth marks in them. "I think I figured it out," Chip said, turning to the crowd of worried townsfolk. Whoever took the bananas didn't take them to hide them, but to share them. Share them? Mr. Grumbles squinted suspiciously. "What do you mean?" "Well," Chip explained, "we know whoever took the bananas was small. We also know they brought a large sack, judging by these footprints, and we know they left some of the bananas here. So, they didn't take all the bananas, just some. That means they wanted to share them with others." "But why?" asked Mrs. Croc. "Bananas aren't exactly known for being the most generous fruit." "That's because whoever took the bananas didn't want anyone to get too rich off of the bank," Chip said. "They just wanted everyone to have some fun." And then it hit him. He knew who was behind the great banana heist. It was Joey the monkey, the youngest of the bunch. Joey was notorious for his love of pranks. Remember that time he put a banana peel on Mr. Grumbles' doorknob? Yeah, that was Joey. Sure enough, when Chip and Polly went over to Joey's house, they found him sitting on the floor, surrounded by hundreds of bananas. But when Chip confronted him, Joey broke down and confessed everything. He admitted that he'd taken the bananas to share with his friends, but he never imagined that it would cause so many problems. Hearing this, Chip couldn't help but smile. Joey might be a little monkey bandit, but he had a good heart. Still, he had to make things right. So Chip helped Joey return all the bananas to the bank, and you won't believe what happened next. The animals of Monkeyville gathered together to count their bananas, and they were shocked. They had more than before. Mr. Grumbles counted a whopping 57 bananas, and Sammy the squirrel had a cool 86. How could this be? Then Chip noticed something. The monkeys had put all the bananas back in the wrong jars. Mr. Grumbles' 57 bananas were actually Sammy's 86. And when they sorted everything out, they realized that they had way more bananas than they started with. It turns out that during all the commotion, some sneaky squirrels had snuck in and stolen some of the bananas. But seeing as everyone had way more fruit than they originally had, nobody seemed to mind. As for Joey, he learned an important lesson that day. Greed doesn't make things fun. Sharing does. From that day on, Joey shared everything he got, and the people of Monkeyville loved him for it. Well, maybe not Mr. Grumbles. He still hated it when monkeys threw coconuts at his house. And remember, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this delightful tale of monkey mischief, don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night, little one.